So let's go over and just take a look at the form render skip logic external module. So this is something that you would request, the form render skip logic. And I've created I have a project that looks a little complicated, but it is not. There's these different instruments, but the ones that we mostly care about are these 4 at the end. Okay, there's a male only form and a female only form, and a big critters form and a small critters form. All right, so the concept of form render skip logic is only show a form in a longitudinal study, only show the form if a certain response has occurred on another instrument. So in this case, if I look at my animal identification instrument, there are 2 fields that are going to drive what I show you. One is weight, and the other is sex. So I only want to show, I'm going to go back to my designer here. I only want to show a female only form if I've selected female on the animal identification instrument. Obviously the same with male. And based on the weight, I'll show the big critters if the weight is a certain criteria, it meets a certain criteria, and small if it doesn't. So what I need to do is take my external module and configure it so that it can drive all of this ability to skip all these unnecessary instruments based on the selection in the original field. So, in the original instrument. So, I'm going to start with if, I have all my fields here, if the gender in that first arm, which is where we're setting the first arm in the first event, which is where we're setting the gender, the branching logic is if it equals 1, which is male, then show only the male form. And then I added another branching logic to say if it equals 2, which is female, then show only the female form. So that branching logic was surrounding this control field. The second control field is the weight. And again, I'm looking on that initial event. It's a longitudinal study, and I could pick different events to drive these things. Show or hide forms based on what I select, and I'll demonstrate this for you. So for the branching logic for the weight, if it's less than equal 20 grams, then it's a small critter. If it's greater than 20, then it's a big critter, and I only want to see those instruments. Okay, so I'm just going to save that, and let's take a look at how it works. I'm going to add a new record here. I'm going to go to my, and notice that I have nothing showing here at the moment. So I'm just going to collect something today. I'll say it's a marlin, and we'll say it's 500 grams, and it's a male. I'll say it's complete, save and exit, and now notice that I only am showing the male only form and the big critter form based on what I selected in animal identification. These forms are irrelevant. Come in here, add another record. Oops. and it'll say jellyfish, vertebrate, whatever. And we'll say this weighs 10 grams, and this is a female. Notice I've got female only and small critters. So it allows you to skip any instruments that are irrelevant to selections you made previous. It ensures that you're only using the forms that are relevant, and you don't start entering data into instruments that don't correspond to some selection that you made on a previous one. I'll go back and show again on the external module the configuration, so it might make more sense. Again, I took the gender. Actually here, I should have put something in here, I think. If the animal sex was male, it shows only the male. And see, this is the branching logic that is applying to the downstream instruments. Any questions? Does this work? Does it matter if the record is set to complete? No, it doesn't matter, and we'll demonstrate that real quick just to be safe. Add a record and butterfly. Okay, so I did not set it to complete, yet it still knew that it's a small critter and female only. Does it work on surveys? Well, let's take a look. Let's go to the project setup, enable the survey, go to our designer, enable this as a survey. Go to my survey distribution tools. Okay, so I'm going to collect this today. Snake. Let's say this is a big snake. We'll say it's 35 grams and it's male. I'll submit, close the survey, look at the record status dashboard for follow-up, and we have for this particular record that we just entered, male only and big critters. So yes, it works on surveys, Tanya. So that's the form render skip logic. If you are looking to ensure that you get accurate data collection on your projects.